Plaintiff Paulita Gordon says the defendant was her Chicago's step dance instructor, and they soon started dating and had a child. However, Paulita left the defendant because he's an abusive drunk, and she's suing him today for the value of a car. Defendant Charles Cook says Paulita was the abusive, controlling one who constantly accused him of cheating, and now she uses their son against him. He's countersuing for the value of a truck.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, Your Honor, I met Mr. Cooks in 2010. I had just lost my father that year, and my son went off to the military. So I had a great loss. So his 20-year difference was really not a big deal. I thought maybe I needed some maturity. We met at a club. So I was there with my cousin, and everybody was swinging out. So I don't know if you're familiar with Chicago swing, but...
Well, I know about Chicago step.
Stepping, that's it.
Okay.
So in Texas, we call it swinging.
Okay.
And so he was an instructor, and I hired him to be my instructor because I wanted to learn away from everybody else. So I wanted private lessons, so I hired him. And
what happened? He started, turn this way. Let me show you. Start touching that body.
Yeah.
Let the music move you. Close your eyes.
Let the music move you. That's the bait. But that's what he did.
He was really
So
smooth.
you close your eyes and let the music move you. There you go.
He was really smooth on the dance floor. So 2 years later, we had a son.
Now I want to know, you don't jump too quick. How long after you started that first in-house dance routine did you all get together, and who hit on who? I'm sure he did the hit.
He absolutely did. He told me that he saw me as soon as I walked through the door that night. So I found that out later on, that he already had eyes on me. So he went in for the kill, and he got.
And you all dated how long?
We dated for about 2 years. About 2 years, yeah. Our son was born in July of 2012.
All right. Why did you all break up?
We broke up because, you know, the partying, the drinking constantly didn't stop. I mean, he kept going, and I thought that after we had our son that it would kind of slow down, and it didn't, and it became an abusive relationship.
He's a womanizer?
Absolutely. I talked to women that he's dated in the past that were like, hey girl, before you were even born, you know, he was womanizing and assaulting women. So
let me hear from him with some background first, and then I'll get back to you. You're a lucky man if you got a bunch of young girls like her chasing after you and you're unmarried. If you're married, you're not so lucky. You are under a lot of pressure.
I was married once.
Once?
Yeah.
All right. You know why?
Yeah, because I was ready to get married at the time.
No, you know why you're no longer involved?
Yeah, because it was family.
No, because women.
No, family.
Yes.
No, it was family.
Tell me. You tell me about your, respond to the things she said if you like.
I did meet her in 2010, and we did, date till we had the son and everything.
What happened?
Well, she started accusing me of things that I know I didn't do. Yeah, I'm a dancing instructor. You know a lot of people's. I don't only just teach women's, I teach men's too. So she took it to another level. Okay, you this. So it started being abusive towards me. So I couldn't deal with that anymore.
Abusive in what way?
Being controlling. She was trying to control everything that I done. You can't do this. I'm going to do this. You can't do this. So after my son was born, she used that against me. I'm going to throw him on you. That's the way I taken it.
What does that mean?
When she had to go somewhere, she was just dropping, not call me and say, okay, well, what you got to do? Okay, I got to go to work. Well, I got to go to work too. But okay, here's some clothes.
No notice.
So from that point on, it started getting worse than that. So she got into some more relationship with guys that abused my son. I brought CPS in it twice.
This is after you all had stopped seeing
This is after, yes. But we had a 50-50,
visitation
with the kids.
Custody.
That changed real quick. You gonna do this or this, or I'm gonna snatch him this, like that.
Start playing, putting the son in the middle?
In the middle.
Or the
He's
child
in the middle right now.
Relationship?
He's in the middle
Playing
right now.
games?
Yeah, he's in the middle. He's in the hospital right now.
From what?
Got him in the psych ward.
Okay.
I can't visit my son, but they can call me and I give them information, but I can't call them and get no information.
How old is he now?
9. I try to get in contact with her. Can't get on contact. This first contact I've had in 2 weeks.
We met at a club. So I was there with my cousin, and everybody was swinging out. So I don't know if you're familiar with Chicago swing, but
Well, I know about Chicago stepping,
that's it.
Okay.
Plaintiff Paulita Gordon has a child with the defendant, but she claims she left him after he assaulted her and threatened her life.
Okay. Well, ma'am, I do want to get this addressed. What he's saying about the child, that's more important to me than what we're doing here today. So what do you want to say to that?
Your Honor, unfortunately, our son has behavioral issues, and he is in a behavioral hospital. He decided to act up in school, make some threats against some people, true his style in terms of being aggressive and abusive to others. And so that is why he is there, because the school recommended it. It is not because of me. It is not. And I have not heard from Mr. Cooks in weeks. In fact, he stopped talking to me, and I couldn't find him.
Well, how would he know about
after
your
the
son?
lawsuit?
How would he know about
I have
this
no
son?
idea, Your Honor. He refused to accept my phone calls. He refused to talk to me.
I object that.
You know, and Your Honor, if
How
I
did you
could-
find out?
I kept calling and kept calling. I was calling the mother at first. The mother said, well, I don't know. Now, to try to get in contact with her, I called. She said, this is her number. I called. So I kept calling the hospital and calling the hospital.
How did you know he was in the hospital?
Through her mother.
Okay.
I called with looking for him because he got a phone
Okay.
for me to stay in contact with. He wouldn't answer the phone no more.
All right. And she said she hadn't heard from you. You say you had, and now you know how he knows.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And
Your Honor, so the relationship actually ended, and I do have proof here, because of an abuse situation that kept going.
Tell me.
Whenever he drinks, he decides to be abusive. And when Charlie, our son, was 3 months old, I decided that I did not want that anymore. I did not want that lifestyle. And still today, he continues to go out. He continues to drink. He continues to date younger women. And Your Honor, I feel like Charlie needs more support and stability in his life. Charlie was supposed to be in football this year. Dad decided not to take him, drove by Dad's house. He was in the yard drinking, partying, playing dominoes. Child's supposed to be in football practice. Dad refuses to take him. So I want a better life for Charlie.
Yes, sir. I can't take him if I don't know where he's at. Every time that I can't take him, she takes him to her mother's house and leave him. If I don't keep calling the
we're
mother,
referring to football practice.
okay, football practice. I just got the message of that maybe last month. He said, Daddy, I need you to take me to football. I said, how can I? I don't have no transportation right now.
He said, tell your mama to take you.
You don't have transportation?
I don't have transportation.
How you see all your women? They come over?
Well, I don't see him, but if they're going to walk by, I see him. If them the ones I was supposed to have.
Women, ma'am.
If them the one I was supposed to have, and I don't have no, I have a lady.
Okay, and she doesn't have a car?
She does.
She have a car
drives it
now.
all the
She
time.
have a car, but I just moved from there because she didn't renew the lease that was in her name.
Oh.
The lease was in her name, but the apartment was supposed to be for me.
The young lady that you're...
No, me.
Oh, with her.
No, not with her. I lived by myself there 2 years.
Whose name was the apartment?
Mine. Your
Okay,
Honor.
no, I was saying the woman the lady that you had.
I just moved there 30 days.
Okay, I was just wondering, would she...
Yeah, 30 days.
You all
I've
have been
with her
together more than 30 days, right?
Yeah, but she go to work early in the mornings.
You could drop her off.
Yeah.
And then you guys have suffered some inconvenience for something so important for your son. Now, you say he assaulted you? I'm not going to skip past that.
Yes, sir, he did absolutely
Tell me what
assault
happened.
me. I was tired of the lifestyle. I was tired of the drinking. And, you know, his family is a big family, and they like to party. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you like to do. However, you have a 3-month-old in the house, you're not partying all the time. And I heard one night after a get-together that we had at the house that we were both living in, him and his sister contemplating what they were going to do if I decided to put him out because I was tired of it. So I came outside. I addressed the issue with him. He grabbed a garden tool and started swinging at me, telling me he was going to kill me. And that's how the assault started. And after that, no longer. I had nothing else to do with him after that, Your Honor.
All right. What happened with the car you're suing
So
about?
with the car, I was in Seattle at an educational convention, and yes, the boys were with him. So I had an apartment so that we could effectively co-parent. I had the apartment in my name because he could not get an apartment in his name. The boys had their own bedroom. I left the boys with him for the weekend. True Cook style. He's going to go out and party and drink. Hopped in my car, dropped the boys off at my mother's. They were supposed to be with him for the weekend. So no son, father time. He drops them off so he can go to the club, totaled my car.
He totaled your car?
He totaled my car. He hit another vehicle. And then hit the concrete pavement or the concrete median. Totaled my car. And not only that, he jumps out that car. They tow the car to the pound. Well, he takes my keys and hops in my other car at my house. So it wasn't enough that he wrecked that car. He went and jumped in another car and took it. And I have proof of that, Your Honor. Promised me that he would fix it. Promised me I'll get it fixed. What do you say to this,
sir?
Okay, when I had that accident in that car, it wasn't my fault. I was cut off on the freeway. I hit a guardrail. I didn't hit another car. And after that, I asked the officer, could I drive it off the street? He said, no, it can't be moved. I said, well, I drove it out in the middle of the street. So I had to leave it there. I didn't leave, but the officer took me where I was going.
We had at the house that we were both living in, him and his sister contemplating what they were going to do if I decided to put him out because I was tired of it. So I came outside. I addressed the issue with him. He grabbed a garden tool and started swinging at me, telling me he was going to kill me. And that's how the assault started. And after that, no longer. I had nothing else to do with him after that, Your Honor.
All right. What happened with the car you're suing about?
Plaintiff Paulita Gordon has a child with the defendant, but she claims she left him after he assaulted her and threatened her life.
Did you have permission to take it?
Yes, sir. The car was at my house every day. That's the car that I use every day. I take
Is that true, ma'am?
No, sir. Absolutely
I got witness,
not.
But they not.
Well, she got communications. She was going to direct me to once I let you give your testimony.
Yes,
so give your testimony and then I'll look at the communications.
The car was with me every day. Mm-hmm. I take my son to school. I picks him up. Mm-hmm. I take him to all his doctor's appointment. You know, everything that I do, she'll go to the school. If I'm trying to get some things right, go cuss the teachers and stuff out. Why you got to do that? I already took care of that. You know, I can take care of it. Why I need you there right now?
Crazy.
If I can handle it, why you go cuss the teachers out, okay? Okay, now for the car with me every day.
I heard you, and I'm glad you keep saying it over and over because the essence of what you're saying is you have total authority and control over the car, similar to ownership, and owners pay for their own damage. I thank you for continuing to reiterate that. Thank you. Now I can go back to her for any communications. You've taken responsibility because the car's with you every day. I have total authorization over it. It's always with me, so you effectively own it. And nobody should pay bills for something you do to your property. This is your property. You pay your own. Go ahead.
So he promised to fix the car. He's a mechanic. He works on the side, so he doesn't have to pay child support, which is $20,000 behind in. So he does little odds and end jobs, and he's good at it. He said, I'll fix the car. Don't worry about it. When my stimulus come, I'll fix the car. I'm still on him. Well, June, he rolls up in a Mustang. I'm like, oh, who's this Mustang? I bought it. Oh, so you went and bought you a car instead of fixing the car that my son left for the middle son. So my son, who's in the military, left this vehicle to give to my middle child for his 16th birthday. Now he has no car to give his brother. I have no car to pass down because he decided to go to the club.
Did you ever agree to pay, sir?
I said I would pay some of it because I don't feel that, that I would do it. The whole thing she owed me for a truck.
Did the police come to the scene?
Police came to that scene on the freeway.
You have a report?
No, sir. They didn't write a report.
Did you get a ticket?
No, sir.
Okay, so we don't really know because there's nothing in writing. All I can do is take your word for it.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you believe that if you keep a car at your house every day, you have total authority over it. When something happens to it, you don't have to pay the person who took the loss.
No, sir. I didn't mean it like that. I mean that I'll pay some of it. Now, she sold a truck of mine with no permission while I did 120 days behind something that she said.
When was that?
I can't even remember the
You
date.
can't even remember.
Yeah, but I can remember she sold my truck.
What? You don't know the month or the year or anything?
2000.
Is that your counterclaim?
2015.
And that's what you're countersuing for?
My truck, 4,700.
For something that happened in 2015?
My truck. She sold a truck with no
Okay, you ever heard of
permission.
the statute of limitations?
What is the statute of
2
limitations?
years.
Okay.
All right. So, what do you have where he says he's going to pay for some or all? What
No, Your
page
Honor,
is that? My goodness, this looks horrible.
I have on page 8 of my evidence, Your Honor, where he says that he will take it and he will make it right. I have on page 7 as well that he will make it right, that he will fix this problem and get that car running for my son. And nope, he on page 6, Your Honor, I have where he actually admitted to wrecking the car. And if you will see on page 6, Your Honor, I told him, I said, you have some nerve to wreck my car, then go get in another one. How dare you? This is my text to him.
What'd he say?
And he said, oh, why are you going off on me? It wasn't my accident. I could have been dead. I'm happy that I got the boys out of there first and they weren't in the car with me. I'm so sorry that it happened. I will try to do what I can to make it right. Don't be going off on me in front of people. I wasn't in front of anybody. I was at a
am there
convention.
for you. Somebody there for you. At all costs. At all costs.
I didn't say that.
I'm reading it.
Oh, you read. I said that I would go half.
I'm looking at it. Oh, that's what you say.
Yeah.
I'm reading it.
Oh,
Tell me
okay.
where you said half. Tell me where your evidence is to say half.
The car with me every day.
I heard you, and I'm glad you keep saying it over and over because
Yeah.
the essence of what you're saying
What I'm saying-
is you have total authority and control over the
Absolutely
car,
not.
similar to ownership, and owners pay for their own damage. I thank you for continuing to reiterate that. Thank you. Now I can go back to her for any
sir.
communications.
Plaintiff Paulita Gordon has a child with the defendant, but she claims she left him after he assaulted her and threatened her life.
Her evidence says all. And that's why you're going to pay all. $5,000 is your judgment.
Thank you.
Your evidence says he agreed to pay for it all. He says that he only agreed to pay half, but he has no way to prove that. Out of all these communications, you showed me about 8 pages of communications. And all those 8 pages, all I saw with regard to who's paying is you saying that you're going to pay all of it. He agreed to pay for it, whether he was negligent or not, whether a third party caused it. He agreed to reimburse you. You say took it without your permission. Now I believe that. So if he took it without your permission, he has responsibility for what happens after taking it. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed. That's for the plaintiff.
I just want to say, this is for your son. I did everything I could. I put you in an apartment. I did everything I could to make sure that you were a good father to your son, and you totally abused it.
She need to start letting me see my son like she's supposed to, give him his phone back and everything. And I can deal with this here. I can deal with this, but I won't deal with you again. I deal with my son.
Plaintiff Randy Bishop says he was married to the defendant's mother, but while together, he caught her cheating several times. As a result, Randy has doubts about whether or not the defendants are his daughters. So he petitioned the court for 2 paternity tests. Defendants Miranda McWhirter and her sister Casey Alfredson say Miranda was raised believing Randy was her father. But Casey was adopted by her grandparents and never really knew the truth. So they are eager to find out the results today.
And, sir, you've petitioned the court for 2 paternity tests and to determine fatherhood. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's start with you.
Well, I got out of prison in June of 93, and I met their mom. And we got together and made it pretty good for a while, and we were together for about a year. And we had our own apartment for a while, and I worked. I come home several times and caught their mother, different apartments. I've caught men coming out of my apartment. I went in, and she was pretty much nude. And
Several times, you say, sir?
yes, sir. There was 6 or 7 apartments, and I've caught her in 3 different ones. And the last go around was the guy in question was walking out of my apartment when I was headed home, and I went in, and that's when she was naked, pretty much naked. And a couple weeks later, 2 weeks later, she told me she was 2 weeks pregnant. And I always questioned if it was the guy that came out or not. We went on, and I got locked up. I got in trouble. I done some things I shouldn't have done, got locked back up. Miranda was born December the 17th of 94. And I've loved her all her life, like she's mine. But there's always that question if she was. Well, time goes by. In 95, Casey's coming around. She told me she was mine when she came to see me. And that night when I called to make sure she made it home okay, she told me Casey wasn't mine. And I told her I didn't want to see her. And I forgave her for it and let her come back. And then she came up pregnant again by their little brother. That's when I told her I didn't want to see her no more. Don't come back. I took her off my visiting list. Got out in 98.
You had a third child, you're saying, their little brother.
Yes, sir. He would be actually the 4th child because she had a child before us.
So the brother, little brother, she was impregnated with while you all were dating as well.
While we was married, yes.
So what makes you think the little brother is confirmed as your son?
He's not. Me and her was not.
I thought you were saying you all did sleep together around that time. Okay.
Not with him, just Casey. Casey was conceived on my birthday, July the 28th.
Okay.
Casey was conceived with me that day, and her mother went to the bar that night and slept with another guy. I really want both these children to be mine. I really need to know. I'm 50 years old, and I don't want to go out of this world not knowing if I have kids that are my blood.
Plaintiff Randy Bishop was married to the defendant's mother, but he claimed she cheated several times. So he petitioned the court for 2 paternity tests to see if the defendants are his biological daughters.
What has your relationship been with them over the years?
Me and Casey never really got to see each other. I got to do a tattoo on her. First time I really got to spend time with her. Miranda,
how old was she? How old?
She would have been 18, 19, I think. Maybe. And, but when I got out of prison, when we got divorced, I got strung out on meth real bad. And I wasn't able to see Miranda. I didn't get to see him. I didn't know where he was half the time. Like I said, I was strung out for several years. 2012, I got clean. Done real good for a while. Was making really good money and relapsed. And I relapsed. I was doing a lot, and then I met my wife in 2016. We got married, and me and her can't have kids together. She can't have kids. And that's why I question the court, can these kids be mine? Because I've never made no other woman pregnant. Their mother's the only one. Okay. I got clean, and I've been clean since 2016. And I want to be in these kids' life. But I just need to know if they're mine.
I'm not going to deviate from why we're here, sir. But I just do have to ask you, sir. I can't just come across as no sucker, sir. People know I'm streetwise, and so I
watch you every day.
Well, I know. All right then, sir. Don't get offended that I asked, but you know what you doing is a symptom of somebody who's been blowing cocaine. You know that. You keep sniffing. You've been nervous and jumpy. Come on, man.
I'm upset.
Why?
Honest God.
All right, I'm not gonna mess with it, but I at least had to say that so my viewers don't think I've suddenly turned
I understand.
into some lame who don't know what he's seeing. All right, so that's your response. That's fine with me.
Yes, sir. I have bad habits of it because I started in 1994, and I got off of it. Like I said, I still got the bad twitching of the jaw and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know many people in the same circumstance because I've seen them. I knew them when they were 20. I knew them when they were 25, and I saw it happening. And now they're 50 or 60, and they used for 25, 30 years, and they stopped. But 10 years down the line after they've stopped, they still have the same type of mannerisms, the same thought process as they did when they were hooked on crack or heroin or whatever for those 30 straight years. All right, why don't you give me some background, ladies? Who wants to go first?
I will.
Go ahead.
So just letting Randy know that no matter what this test comes back as, he will still be considered my dad.
The real question you had is Casey, because her mother told you you weren't the father, correct?
Correct.
At first, she told you you were the father.
Yes.
Later
yes.
told you you weren't. Was she mad when she said that?
Oh, no. She was just wanting to be honest with me.
Okay. And Miranda, do you know much of your father? What type? Give us some context of your relationship with your father, if there was one.
At the beginning, there wasn't much a relationship. He was kind of there, but I don't feel like he has an excuse for how much he has missed, because drugs are not an excuse, for the simple fact that I was on heroin meth, and I found out that I was 4 months pregnant. I miscarried with triplets before, and I was in a really hard spot. And so I went kind of 6 feet under and was doing all kinds of things, drinking and everything. And then I got introduced to meth. So it kept my mind off. And then I found out that I was 4 months pregnant, and I quit completely cold turkey without an issue. I didn't want nothing to happen to my daughter. I just miscarried with triplets before her. Didn't know what she was until I went in for an ultrasound. And I don't feel like drugs should have been an issue. He should have been able to quit for me like I did for my daughter. I've never seen someone quit that's done it for a long period of time. But my mom has 4 kids, and Casey ended up getting adopted. She was the 3rd child born. And I kind of always wondered. I knew she was my sister through my mom, but as I got older, I kind of wondered, because we were talking about it something, and it was like the last name report was on something. And so we talked about it. So me and my sister, we do have a very close relationship. We did talk. She came over on the summer times, and we have a really strong relationship. Even now with her, where she's at, we still have a really strong relationship. But he was in and out. About 2019, or 2016, he tried to contact me. He told me he was clean. I didn't believe him, because I've been told that before. And I was like, I have my kids. I don't want my kids around it. The way he was acting was just alarming to me. So I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want it. And so in 2019, he had contacted me, or he contacted my mother, because he couldn't get a hold of me. And my mom told me, hey, I think he's actually clean this time. You should give him a try. Okay. So I gave him a call. I talked to him a little bit. I went out and seen him, and was seeing that he was doing good. He actually had a girlfriend or wife that I actually liked, because she didn't feel that if my dad and I wanted to do something, she had to be right there. Because when I want time with my dad, I want time with my dad. just me and him. And he has 5 wonderful grandbabies, 2 little boys and 3 little girls. And so I'm hoping he stays clean so he can be there for them.
Plaintiff Randy Bishop was married to the defendant's mother, but he claimed she cheated several times. So he petitioned the court for 2 paternity tests to see if the defendants are his biological daughters.
Let me ask you, how many times had he reached out to you? Before 2016, was he reaching out?
He reached out to my mom, and I went over there, and I think I was 10, maybe 11. I still, to this day, have the keychains that he gave me. But when it came nighttime or starting to get dark, the Wicked Witch of the West decided to lock me in my room. And they would go do what they were going to go do in the back room, and I was locked in my room until the next morning.
You have 2 types of drug addict parents. You have the drug addict parent who is totally neglectful and have no interest in ever seeing their child. They show no interest, want no interest in ever seeing them. And then you have the drug addict parent who, yes, their life is consumed with drugs. That's the priority in their life, because when you are addicted, that's the priority, is drugs. And yet they have a spot and a desire in their heart to see their children or to spend time with their children. Notwithstanding, I'm a drug addict and that's going to get in the way of everything when my child comes to see me. It's not going to be a pleasant experience because I'm going to practice my addiction. But it's him saying, I want to see my child. And let me tell you, I have a lot of personal experience with these, not only by observation, but with my own. I raised a child, my wife primarily, that wasn't ours because her father and mother were drug addicts. We raised her from a baby. However, her father frequently tried to be in her life, and I would allow her to move with him every time he came out of rehab. But I would visit, and if I go over and I see it's disorder, I can tell when you're on drugs, disorganized household. You know, I know the symptoms. So I go over there, I say, okay, you on drugs. She's coming with me. All right, but I want to see, I love her. Go to rehab, get yourself clean. Get yourself clean. He come back. Can I have my daughter back? Sure. Boom. Unfortunately, it took him 7 times. He did it 7 times. And ultimately, it took that. So, that's a perfect example of drug addicts. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to give him the benefit of wanting to see you and be a part of your life, even though he was incapacitated, he was unable to. And let me hear from you, Casey.
In all honesty, it was never a subject my mother liked to talk about when we were younger. As Miranda stated, I did go over every summer and spend time with my family. I knew they were my family, but I was mainly raised by my grandparents. And then on my old Social Security card, it did have McCourt before. It'd be nice to know if he is my father, mostly medical, but if there could be a relationship, that'd be great. I do live further away now, so... What
do you mean by mostly medical?
I have my own 3 kids, and their father, his dad had macular degeneration. My grandfather had heart problems, high blood pressure, all that sorts of stuff to look out for. Something that I would want to make sure to let my kids' doctors know to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
The last time I saw him, I was 18 years old when I got my tattoo. And that's about all I've spent with him.
Plaintiff Randy Bishop was married to the defendant's mother, but he claimed she cheated several times. So he petitioned the court for 2 paternity tests to see if the defendants are his biological daughters.
Is she convinced one way or the other?
She never really talked about it. I don't really talk with my mother much.
All right, but at no point did she say he is, or
no,
nothing affirmatively, nothing.
She would always just dodge the question anytime I would want to know.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir.
A lot of me not being in her life wasn't just because I was on drugs. A lot of it was. But a lot, I didn't know where they lived half the time because her mom moved them around and around and around until she got with the man she's with now. So I didn't know where they was half the time. My mom was having my daughter and not even letting me know. I didn't find this out till my mom was on her grave dying, until my mom told me that she'd been hiding, letting Miranda stay the weekend with her, and her and Carrie was not letting me know that. When I was trying to find my daughter and nobody would tell me, that's when I gave up on it and said, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to stay high. And that's what I did. I regret every minute of it. I love these kids and I need them to be mine. If they're not, they're still mine.
No. Any final comments from you ladies?
I'm not trying to sound rude. Like I grew up with it'd be nice to know if you are. But yet again, I grew up with my grandparents as my parents. That was my father my whole life since I was a baby. That was the only father I ever knew.
Casey says she's not sure if she even want a relationship with you, and there's no need to have one because you're not her father. He's not your father, Casey.
I'm sorry,
you can proceed with your life without any disruption or second thoughts, because it sounds like that's what you preferred, is to keep life as it was when you came here today. Is that about right? That's what it sounded like.
If he is, I would like the relationship just to be able to actually know my father. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, my grandfather was my father.
There you go. Well,
my
he still
entire
is.
Life.
Mr. Bishop, that she's not your daughter, but the good news is Miranda is.
Yes.
So there you have it.
She's my daughter.
She is your daughter.
She's my blood daughter.
She's your blood daughter, and you got plenty of time for you all to spend.
She's still my baby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That should tell you something, but the way he's reacting should tell you something about love there, and that he was trying to get with you. You see his reaction? Guys don't react like that if they didn't have love. And that's why I knew it. I could feel it. So I know what I'm talking about, and I'm seeing what I'm talking about. So good luck. You got a father who loves you, who had tremendous drug addiction problems. He's dealt with them. He continues to deal with them, yet he loves his daughter. All right, so we leave here. Everybody's happy today. Casey, you trying to be polite, but you know you didn't want him to be your father. You're just trying to be nice. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Well, he can't deny me. I look like him. I was mad at you for doubting, but now you know.
But your mama put me through a bunch. Your mama put me through a lot. I really believed you wouldn't.
I know that.
It's nice to know, like, find out if maybe eventually I can find who my father is, but.
I'm happy. I'm really happy. All the doubt is gone. Casey was a 50-50 chance. I'm sorry I didn't get to know you, and I'm sorry I'm not your father. I'm sorry to put you through this. And I hope you can find your father. He's the same guy that your mom was with tonight on my birthday, 1995.